I thank the Minister and I call the member for Fisher.
Thanks, Deputy Speaker. I rise to speak on behalf of the families and retirees of Fisher who are fed up with this Labor government. They're fed up with the smoke and mirrors and broken promises. After 6 months in office, Labor have demonstrated that their priorities are entirely out of whack. They'd rather fund climate warrior training programs than build a Veterans Wellbeing Centre in South East Queensland. They're out of their depth, chopping and changing, dithering and delaying on cyber security and energy affordability. And after 6 months in office, it's clear that they're out of touch with the Australian people. In their latest egregious betrayal of trust, this Labor government have broken their promise on franking credits. Before the election, both the Prime Minister and the Treasurer promised Australian retirees and investors that there'd be no changes to franking credits. On the 4th of March 2022, the Prime Minister promised Perth radio listeners that when it came to franking credits, Labor are not touching them. Just weeks later, he told the ABC that Labor won't have any changes to the franking credits regime. Yet, lo and behold, in the federal budget in October, Labor, in a very sneaky way, included a change to the franking system designed to eliminate the payment of franked dividends to Australian investors through off-market share buybacks. In the words of AFR journo Jeff Wilson, this is a complete regulatory overreach. They are an underhanded attempt to tear apart the franking system introduced by Keating in 1987. Brian from Pelican Waters in my electorate is worried about the impact of these changes on his livelihood in a time of economic uncertainty. Kevin from Bedina calls this latest move an act of bad faith. Ken and Henry from Montville feel that it's an unfair burden on those who've worked so hard to fund their retirement. And they're right. This $550 million tax grab doesn't hide the fact that Labor has no plan for our economy. When Bill Shorten was the opposition leader, they lost the 2019 election in part because of what they came out, at least the member for Maribyrnong had the decency to come out and tell the Australian people what their policies on franking credits were going to be. Part of the reason why they lost the 2019 election. But at least as the opposition leader, the member for Maribyrnong had the decency and the intestinal fortitude to come out and tell Australians what the Labor Party were going to do should they win government. This time, they were absolutely mute and in fact denied they were going to make any changes. But that is exactly what they've done this time around. Shame on them. This government has no plan and no idea, and it is out of touch with everyday Australians.